that I made, right? So let me zoom this. And you see, when I'm selecting, of course, the element is visible, but what I set up is background color is not applied. You see, the color is applied. You see, the color white is applied, but the background color is not applied. So let us see why it is not applied. Background color. Of course, the spelling is also correct, right?
So style.
Yes,
Sir,
exactly.
you have to
I
keep.
missed this. Yeah, so I missed that style property, so that's why this is not applied. And even I changed the color of the element to be white, so that's why the background color was also white. So that's why the text is also not visible. Let me try to click on this again, and you see we got it here. Okay, from the bottom it is at a distance of 100 pixels and its position got fixed. Okay, is this clear? And
Yes,
if
sir.
we, instead of writing all these, we can make a simple thing also. Like what I did by using all this from line number 4 to 9 is that I just simply made a kind of what we say. I made it to in some other format, like what I can say. So I applied some CSS like this. So some CSS and the class name is Arvind, right? So for this Arvind or something, for this particular element only, for this div, okay, for this div element only, what I did, I applied width of 200 pixels and width it is, okay, and I applied what, height of how much, 200 pixels, and then background color of blue and the color of white, and then position is set to fixed, and then bottom offset is set to 100 pixels. So indirectly by using JavaScript for this particular element of 0, which is the div element, this one, I applied all these properties. Okay, I applied what? All these properties. Now what I'll do is that instead of writing all these lines, we can make it efficient by using a single class name. Another class I want to say, let us say, this class name is Navin, let us say. Okay, and I would like to all of this. Okay, so now background it is. Okay, now this is what Navin class. So instead of doing all these things, can I simply add a class name of Navin for this?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can I? Now let me save this and resave this, and you see this how it is there now. Now what I'll do is that, so instead of writing all these lines, if I simply attach a class name of Navin for this, for this one, so if I attach a class name of Navin like this, now static element, so it is turned into here. Now dynamically, if I make this Navin to be added for it, so as index.css file is linked over here, so this class, whatever I have written here, that will get applied to this particular div element. Yes or no? But the question is how we can add the class name for it. Can you tell me how we can add the class name for it?
Document.getElement by class name, sir.
See, document.getElements by class name is the function. When you pass a class name for it, it is going to return that element. Now I am interested to change the class name of this particular element. Firstly, you tell me how can I see the class name of this particular element? I would like to log the class name of want to log the of element 0. Can I access the class name?
Element 0.
You see, yeah, class is a direct attribute for it, HTML attribute. To access HTML attribute directly, element dot that attribute you can do. Okay, so element dot class.
Class name.
But as class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript, like we cannot use class like this. So only for class we have this exception. We can directly log instead of class. We can use this class name. So element of class name or element of 0 of class name we should write.
Element of 0 of class name.
Yes, element is actually an array of two elements. One is the div element and the other one is bold element. And out of those two elements, I want to retrieve the class name of the first element. So like this, since for the first element, this is the first element, I want to access an attribute called class. So this is how I can access it. So let me save this and let us go to console. And when I click on this, what happened? We got the class name of this one, which is Arvind at line number 10. And is this the class name of Arvind? Is this the class name of div? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Now I am interested to change this class name. So to change this class name, what I have to do? Element of 0, I want to change the, yeah. Come on, tell me.
element class name
Yeah. Okay.
equal to plus Naveen. Or
See,
you want to
I want to
change or
overwrite.
add?
I
Overwrite.
want to
Okay, then
overwrite
equal to
instead of
Naveen.
Arvind. Yes.
Naveen.
So I can simply have this Naveen here. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do is that for this particular element of 0, I'm changing the class name to be Naveen instead of
Naveen.
Arvind. Let me save that. And you see when I click on this, what happened? This one got here. And let us see, go to elements section, and you see what is the class that is there for this now. Naveen. So let me refresh and show you in this. So initially the class name is set to Arvind, and by using this class name, I was able to select this element as well as this element into this element array. And in that element array, I logged the class name of the first element, which is this one. Of course, it is going to print Arvind over here because the class name is Arvind till now. And now in line number 11, what I'm trying to do is that instead of this class name, I'm changing the class name to be what? Naveen. Okay, now what will happen when I click the button? This Arvind is going to be overwritten with this Naveen. So let me click on this, and you see it got a class name of Naveen. As in this particular class name, we are having some CSS code. That CSS code got applied for this particular element, so that's how the element got pulled down. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Everyone got this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Pakka?
Yeah, Papa.
Only you 3 people are responding, like Sai and Sumant and Naveen. What about remaining people? Kiran, are you understanding
Understood,
this?
sir. Yeah.
Pakka? And what about
Yes,
you,
sir.
Prasanna?
Pakka.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Pakka అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? No problem. Okay. So now what I'll try to do is that let us dig deeper into inside inside. So I'll give a short assignment for you. Okay, I'll give you a short assignment for you. The assignment is, now you have to do that. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes of time and you have to do that. So I'll explain the problem statement here and you have to solve that. Okay, so you see there is a button is there. One second, let me connect this back. Okay, so we have a button like this in our HTML document, so which is telling that click me, and upon clicking on this, what you have to do is that you have to show a box. Okay, you have to show a box which contains some form. It is a kind of login form, and which should have a field for username. Okay, and we should have a field for email, and we should have a field for password. Okay, these 3 things are there, and then at the last we should have a login button. Okay, and when I click on this again, see, when I click on this again, I want to disappear this. When I click on this, it has to show up, and when I click on this again, or let's say you have to have another button. Okay, you have to have another button like a cross mark. Instead of a button, you have to have a cross mark like this, an icon, and upon clicking on this, this has to close. This has to get closed. So similar to the one that I shown up in GFG. Okay. So yeah, you see in this particular one, when I click on this sign in, what happened? You don't need to make that animation, but you have to show up this kind of pop-up. Not this complex one. You just need to have some 3 input fields and then a button. Okay, don't make it like this. Okay, and you have to get something like a cross mark. It should be anything. It can be a button also. But I'm telling you to add a cross mark. If you can add, then you can add. Otherwise, you can add a button over here. And upon clicking on this, what should happen? That should get disappear. And when I click on this, that has to show up. And when I click on this, it has to get disappeared. Can you do that? So those who know CSS, they can do it very easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'll give you, I'll come back I'll rejoin the class at 134, right? So I'll rejoin at 150. Okay, 16 minutes of time for you, and you solve that, and you can discuss among yourselves, and you can do anything. Okay, and I'll rejoin at 150, and you have to solve this. Is it clear?